It's bourbonblog.com. My good friend, actor Will Swenson. Usually I'm interviewing him sometimes in person or in New York, but this morning, my time, it's late night your time. You're in Melbourne, Australia, kicking off the new Beautiful Noise as Neil Diamond.
That's right. Yep, I think it's 11:30 my time, and it's what is it 8:30 or 9:30 your time?
8:30 my time here. Yeah, yeah.
Nothing like having a glass of whiskey to
That's
kick off
right.
the day.
Look, I don't do this very often. I mean, I say that. I don't know if anybody will
Sure
believe
you
it,
don't.
but I
Sure
have.
you
Yeah,
don't.
that's right. That's right. Well, when I have you on, when I have a good reason, you gave me a good reason.
When you called me about this, I said, Tom, it's that's a great idea. I'd love to chat with you. One of us is going to be drinking early in the morning.
No, it's the way. It's the way. You're trying some Australian whiskey,
That's
which
right.
you
That's
found there.
the best thing about traveling, man, is like discovering new stuff that you can't get elsewhere that you didn't know existed. But let me do this one first.
Yeah,
First one is this cool, first of all, cool looking bottle
that is
label
cool.
called Ned, and it's distilled in Melbourne. It's an Australian whiskey, and it's American oak matured, and it's a 40% alcohol proof. And I tried a little the other night, and you know how sometimes your dinner will affect how you
Sure.
receive a wine. The other night I had Vietnamese food, and it was really spicy food. And then I
Ooh,
tried this when
yeah.
I got home. So at the time, it felt like this was very light and very sort of refreshing. I remember it being um, really oaty and kind of nutty. So I'm
Right.
curious to know right now, with just a little bit of chocolate in my eating history, what it's going to do. Oh yeah, it's got a lot more going on without all that spice in my system.
It has a lot of those, and it's of course made right there. I'd heard about it before,
Uh-huh.
and it's a Melbourne area Australia whiskey producer made at the distillery Port Melbourne, Victoria. So it's just
Uh-huh.
about 10 minutes away from you. Looks like they've been doing it since 2019.
It's got a lot of fruit on the finish, but it's really light. And I love that it's like my wife signed me up for a cask strength whiskey club a while ago,
Oh,
and they're
nice.
great, and they're great, and they're so great. But as is the case when there's a lot more alcohol in the thing, things are just going to be hotter, and it leads with a little more fire. And it's kind of nice to taste one that's just so chill. It reminds me of this is not to take away from the taste at all, but of a
Oh,
light
that's
beer.
right.
It's just sort of easy drinking.
Just really an easy whiskey, probably something the Aussies really enjoy. They've always really enjoyed bourbon and American whiskey. In fact, I was looking back at some numbers, not to get too factual here, but in 2024, Australia was apparently the largest individual country export market for American whiskey. Obviously, if we say collectively, the European Union was more, other
Uh,
places, but they've always loved bourbon, American whiskey there, and it's so exciting to see they're making a lot of whiskeys now. The last 10, just like craft distilleries have gotten bigger here, they're
Yeah,
making.
I feel like they've sort of followed suit, and like a lot more people are making whiskey here. The first time we came here, I think it was 2015, and I remember searching and searching for some bourbon, and I finally found it at a speakeasy, and I remember paying like $28 for a 2 ounce pour of Woodford Reserve. Just
Whoa,
going, what is happening?
this is big. Yeah,
This time around, I'm finding tons of new Australian product, and also like a lot more access to American whiskeys as well with a lower price point. So I'm guessing that things have just kind of gotten better with the whiskey exchange.
that's no, that's so wonderful to hear. You're finding which any in particular you're seeing American wise that you're seeing on the shelf.
Um, I've seen a lot of Buffalo Trace.
Oh
I
yeah,
I got a bottle of Makers the other day, um, and then some of the more affordable brands as well. I've seen some Wild Turkey. I've seen a lot of Jack.
of course, having a little ocean to celebrate the fact you're across the ocean. You're doing Neil Diamond, A Beautiful Noise. You're the part of Neil Diamond. Now you of course starred in that role, the very first debut role for the musical 2 years ago in the U.S.
I
Now
was
you're
super lucky. Yep.
It's such an amazing job, my friend. Now you're taking it to Australia. What's it? How's it different there doing Neil Diamond in Australia? Does it? How do you think that the role's changing and evolving for you, and how's it being received by the Aussies?
I mean, remains to be seen. We are just about to open the show here, so we haven't had an audience yet. Our first audience, I think, is Wednesday of this coming week. Um, I don't know. It remains to be seen. U.S. audiences love the show, and Neil himself told me that Australia is probably his most energetic fan base. So that he thought I'd have a good time down here putting the show up. It's interesting putting the same show together with an entirely different cast, and all the Aussies down here are doing it with American accents, and that's kind of fun. Um, but different folks, and putting the same show together with different folks is kind of cool, different dynamics, and we're in this gorgeous theater called the Princess Theater that's like 180 years old or something, and um, and it's great. There's a great band, and I think it'll go over really well. Aussies love Neil Diamond, man. They at one point, like every 80% of Australian homes had a copy of Hot August Night in their house or something in the in the 70s. So they know him and they love him. So I feel like it's going to go over pretty well.
You mentioned the Aussies are doing the American accent. Are you? Do they ever come to you? And I'm sure they're wonderful actors, but do they ever come and say, "How should I say this?" Or is
I
it even
mean,
that tough to do an American accent as an Australian?
well, apparently not for them. I mean, I compliment them all because their American accents are so good, and they're like, well, we all grow up with American media. All the TV
Of
shows
course,
we watch are
right,
American,
right.
all the movies we watch are in American accents, and then because I do musicals mostly,
Right.
most of the musicals are American stories as well. So that's just something they've studied over and over and over. Whereas an Australian accent for us is pretty tricky, but they're pretty great at it. They do ask for help because they're nice, lovely, humble people, and I just say, no, you're fine. You sound
You're
great.
doing good. So you started here. You start the show this coming Wednesday, Princess Theater.
Yeah.
It goes through November.
We're in Melbourne until the middle of November, and then we move the show to Sydney,
Sydney.
and we'll do the show up in Sydney all the way through at least Valentine's Day, and then I'll probably come home from there, and then the show will continue to all the other major Australian cities.
All the other places. And
Yeah,
again, if you're watching, and I do hope we have some great folks watching us in Australia, you can check that out. The Princess Theater. See Will Swenson as Neil Diamond. Earlier this year, you were doing Sweeney Todd
kind of the winter. I think it was January,
Awards.
February, if I
Yep.
remember. Yeah, out in LA at this great theater called La Mirada Theatre Company. It was fun. It was fun. If you remember Jason Alexander, who played George Costanza
Of course.
on Seinfeld, Jason directed that production, and he's a real musical theater nerd and knows that show really well. So it was fun because he had some great ideas on how to present it with this interesting angle, and I got to scream and shout and murder people and sing
What was
big.
it like working with Jason?
It was great. It was great, man.
Yeah.
There are two kinds of directors, I feel like. One shows up and goes, "All right, what are we doing? Let's try it." And you try it and they go, "Maybe that, maybe not. Why don't we try this?" And that's great, and that's a way to work up a show. And then there's the kind of director that goes, "All right, here's what I'm thinking. Try this." And they just come with a lot of ideas. And Jason's one of those. He just like had, just a basket full of ideas about what moments could be, how to present the show, what the characters could be. And it was so easy because he would
Yeah.
just give you an idea and you'd try it and it would work or it wouldn't. And he'd go, "Okay, well, what about this?" His brain is amazing. And he in particular loves that show. It's his favorite musical and he'd always wanted to direct it. So he'd done all the homework for us, so he just kind of threw out these ideas, and it was fun. Super great guy,
Cool.
so chill
That
and
sounds like
and really creative and fun, easygoing.
yeah. That's especially having someone that just wants to just explore new creative angles and just try it new ways. Is that a way that you really enjoy working too?
I've worked with both kinds of directors, and both have their benefits, but I love it when someone comes with ideas. I'm an actor that likes to come with ideas, and some directors will be like, "Why don't you step down? I'm the director, and I'll tell you how to do this." And then you feel like a puppet a little bit sometimes as an actor, but everybody does everything differently. But I sure love it when a director has lots of ideas, and especially when it's a great show that's really well known, like Sweeney Todd,
Sure.
because there's an idea people get in their heads. It should be like this, and then things can be redundant and possibly a little boring because you've seen that version or that angle before. So somebody coming with a new idea is really fun for me because it's you're making something new.
That is exciting. I was just realizing today is the 45th anniversary of the launch of MTV.
45th?
45th anniversary.
Well, that can't be right, Tom, because that makes me much older than I feel like I should be.
you're, you're staying young. The music, rock and roll is keeping you young. And Neil Diamond, of course, wasn't much thought of as an MTV star, but had a
No,
lot
I
of
don't think Neil made too many videos.
yeah, I didn't do too much of that. Obviously, had a lot of big hits during that era.
Yeah.
If it was a Neil Diamond song that kicked off the launch of MTV, and not "Video Killed the Radio Star," what song would you pick, Will, and what would the video be about?
What Neil Diamond song it fits the MTV metric? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, what would you pick just for the very first launch video if it wasn't "Video Killed the Radio Star"? And what would be the backdrop?
I don't know. I mean, like the bop for me is Cherry Cherry. That song's such a just a jam. But
Yeah,
but I keep going to Red Red Wine because UB40, made it famous, really famous, and did have videos. I remember the
oh, of
UB40
course, yeah.
Red Red Wine video. That was an MTV staple. Um, but as far as the Neil video, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I remember a Heartlight video. Do you remember that song, Turn On Your Heart Light, from
Right.
E.T.? He wrote it about E.T. In
Oh,
the middle of a young boy's dream. There was definitely a video for that one, I feel like.
yeah. It's a
I
lot of
remember recording MTV like with
yeah.
my Betamax blank tapes
Oh,
so
yeah.
that I could watch Madonna's Lucky Star video over and over. It's just like
Have you ever been in a music video yourself?
No, but speaking of Madonna and MTV,
Yeah.
there was, I don't know if you remember this. They held a competition to make the Vogue video, and anyone that wanted to could submit their own homemade video for Vogue. And I was dating a girl in high school that was a dancer, and she decided we were going to make a video. And so she storyboarded this whole video with dancing and like a storyline. And because I was like a strong football player guy, she wanted me to do a lift. So we did like the Dirty Dancing lift at one point. And then they didn't tell you exactly when your video was going to be on, but they aired them all. Like for like a week, MTV was nothing but amateur Vogue Madonna
So yours was
videos.
aired.
It was aired. They were all aired,
The one
apparently.
with her,
But
you, and yeah.
yeah, yeah, I didn't see it, but she was videoing them all day long, and apparently it eventually aired. So I have been on MTV.
So you were on MTV. Is this a copy of this still exists someplace? And
No, I have no idea. I would have to write this girl who I haven't
yeah,
talked to in
yeah,
decades.
that would be
But
to see.
I bet you she has a copy.
Probably does. She's thinking now. Wow, I was in
That
this
is
video with
funny.
Will Swenson. That's so cool, man. That's
That
so
is funny.
cool.
I'm going to move on to this other one now,
Yeah,
Tom.
you know what? I think I'm gonna do the last sip of this and this Corsair. You have a single malt. I have a single malt. What's your single malt from Australia?
Oh, this one's great. This is called Starward.
Ooh, yeah.
And it says twofold. I think Starward is the distillery. Twofold is the name of this particular concoction, and this also is made in Melbourne.
Wow.
New World Whiskey, yeah. Um, and it's a wheated whiskey, and it's a single
Okay.
malt mixed, but it's aged in red wine barrels. And I had a sip of this the other day, and boy, is this tasty!
Wow.
Again, I'm going to see
What
if
a label too. I love that label. Cheers. I'm having
Mhm.
having a little
Right.
too.
Look at
Ooh, yeah.
that.
Very galactic and just upbeat and
Uh huh.
Yeah. Hopefully, after everything gets going, I know you're always doing a lot. You'll be able to get a chance to visit some of these. Maybe we can track these guys down. It looks like a
I mean, come on down, Tom. Let's
I will
go.
twofold. Okay, what are you tasting on that twofold?
Oh man, the first thing that comes to me is like cream soda.
Wow.
But I get the red wine, like it almost it's a sweet red wine. It almost, I'd say, if I had to guess, I'd say port barrels, but I don't think they are.
Wow.
But super vanilla,
Hmm.
um, but also like cherry, like dark fruit in there too. But there's like a creaminess to it that I really like, and it's also 40%. I
40%.
wonder if that's I these are the only two Australian made whiskeys that I've tried so far and paid a lot of attention to, and they're both 40% alcohol instead of 45.
I have with me a little bit, and the last time you were in Nashville, you and I went to Corsair Distillery.
Love that place.
What
Oh
a
my God,
incredible place, and we both really enjoyed that triple smoke. It is
I remember that well. Yes.
yeah, that American single malt, and what they're doing is they're taking a lot of different smoked malts from that 100% malted barley. They're using cherry wood from Wisconsin. They're using beech wood. I believe it's sourced from Germany, and peat. I think they're getting that from Scotland, and they're putting these smokes
Yeah.
together. These different smoky elements, and it's just so delicious.
Those guys are so creative. I'm crazy about what those guys do.
Yeah, we had a good, and those cocktails we had too were just divine.
Oh, for sure.
Was
Yeah, one of them was like a fat washed like
oh yeah,
umami.
yeah. Love what they're doing in Tennessee, and hopefully you'll have a chance to get to some of these distilleries in Australia. Have you any good cocktail bars? Any other uh,
Yeah.
tastings you've had there when you've as you've been there?
Yeah, man. Melbourne is like a culinary Disneyland. It's the food here is so good. I've only been to one cocktail bar so far because it's hard, Tom. I have to sing these like 20 songs every show, and if I drink too much, my voice dries out, and it's really annoying and
I can
obnoxious.
imagine.
But
Yeah.
so I can't go to as many bars as I'd like. But I went to one place. I think it was called 1806, and I think that was the address of the place. But it was downstairs, kind of speakeasy. And I tried a cocktail that apparently was born in Melbourne, but it's called the Japanese Slipper.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've heard of this cocktail, but
It says it was created in 1984 by a French bartender, and it has Cointreau, lemon juice, and Midori in it. If it's the
that's
same
right. That's right. That's right.
little honeydew
I
melon slice, perhaps for the garnish.
uh-huh. Right, right, right.
Oh, I've not had this. It's been around for a little while, and
Me neither, but he said that it's like the go-to Melbourne cocktail. So I was
ooh,
like, well, give me that. That sounds great.
yeah,
Even though the name is Japanese Slipper, apparently it was born in Melbourne. So that was my first cocktail in Melbourne. But I'm on the hunt for more.
and you liked it. You thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was super good. My
That's
wife would like it a lot. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of melony and light, and it'd be a good springy, summery cocktail. Even though it's cold down here right now, it's winter
It
down
is.
here.
Yeah. You what kind of Fahrenheit are we looking at right there?
About 40 as a low in the middle of the night, up to about 60 as a high. So it feels like I'm from New York, and that feels like fall weather
It's like
for
full
New
weather.
York.
So this is
Yeah,
the right time to drink whiskey. This is the right
that's
night
right.
for it. This is and again the right time if you're going to be going to Australia, going to see a beautiful noise, the Neil
Hmm.
Diamond musical. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have found the right website to put up here, the neildiamondmusical.com.au. Does that look right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Nicely
that's
done.
where you
Nicely done.
go. Thanks to get the tickets to see Will. Several. What is it? Is it how many nights a week you doing this?
6 nights a week and 8 shows a week. So yeah, won't be
Yes,
hard to find a performance if you're
won't
around.
be hard to find it. And then for Will, on the day that he's off, won't be hard for him to find a whiskey because he'll need one after that many nights. I would. I would. I know I
Maybe
would.
maybe it'll give me a little more Neil Diamond gravel in my
It'll
voice
give
if
you
I
that gravel. You're doing
drink a
some
little more
recording
whiskey.
over the weekend.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, for another project, but
another
yeah.
project. Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah.
we were able to talk about it, but you are doing uh, some recording over the weekend. Is it one of those things where you can get the extra recording of Will Swenson doing Neil Diamond too, or is that already out there, or is that something that?
It's out there. Yeah, yeah. We recorded
Yeah,
a cast album for
yeah.
the Broadway
I was thinking it
company.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on iTunes and Spotify and all that, and it's
If you're
just
wanting to
a
hear
beautiful
that,
noise. It's called A Beautiful Noise, and it's the Broadway cast recording.
you can get
And that's
that.
me.
One, if you want to get a little sample and tease, and hey, thanks for having a sample with me, my friend. It's always so good to see you again. Just a little before 9 a.m. here. It's a little before midnight there, and man,
Excellent to get a drink with you, Tom, as always.
break a leg. Best wishes to you as you kick this musical off on Wednesday. I hope it's a big success to you and many more.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Can't wait to get one in person down the road.
We'll do it, my friend. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Take care, man.
Cheers.